My name is Peii Chen. I'm a senior research scientist at Kessler Foundation in West Orange, New Jersey.
My name is Denise Kirk. I am a research scientist at Kessler Foundation in New Jersey.
I have been using virtual reality technology as a tool to develop treatment for a syndrome called spatial neglect. And this syndrome can happen after stroke, after brain injury. And virtual reality is a very good tool for me to create new environment or even new treatment approaches to address this disorder. Through working on this project for more than 3 years now, I know there are even more opportunities to create new treatment, new environments, to help patients to regain their function through a VR environment.
Virtual reality has been a tremendous tool to help us create a more realistic daily life scenario that really helps to pull out the impairment that someone might have that they're describing that they have in their home life. And beyond the evaluation phase, we can then use VR as a tool kind of targeting that same domain, that area where there's very mild impairment, and we can help develop a treatment that will mimic that daily life situation, that multitasking where you're doing more than one thing at the same time. You have distractions going on in the background, and those sorts of activities and situations are very, very challenging for people. But to rehabilitate that, you need that realistic life, daily life environment, that realistic situation, and you need to have the patient practice in those scenarios. And so that treatment in the VR environment, or I should say rather, that treatment really can only be accomplished well with virtual reality as a tool.
The VR projects that I'm working on, the environment is not realistic at all. However, the activity itself is very interactive, very engaging. It's unlike traditional therapy activities, patients may feel very tired easily because of they have to repeat the same thing again and again, even though just for a simple motor task. However, in the VR environment, VR technology is using video game strategies to help patients to want to do more. So they are motivated to do more rather than being told to get more practice. So that part is really, I would say, very, very important in rehabilitation setting, because we always want to provide not just effective treatment, but also the right dosage. Usually the right dosage is intensive. The patient have to practice the same thing again and again. In order to help them want to do more, we need to have better treatment designed for them. And VR actually is a great tool to design that kind of environment and activity.
Are we creating a treatment that is going to be effective for patients that have these impairments? But if we do, that's fantastic, but it has to be accessible. So it has to be able to be inexpensive enough that the clinicians can purchase it, and it has to be easy enough to use so that they are able to easily adopt it into their clinics and use it with patients. And in that regard, something that is developed that is inexpensive and that is wireless can be deployed almost anywhere. We have a project that we just submitted a grant for. We're waiting to find out if it's funded, but it's to work with some of our collaborators who are in the military. And the idea is that if it works, they might need to be able to deploy it in any sort of situation, not just stateside, but perhaps in deployed environments. So if it's easy to throw in a bag and it's inexpensive and many units can be purchased, they can be used in any setting.
All the patients who come to my lab try the VR. It was always the first time ever they tried VR. And some of them, they never use computer. And so it's always interesting to see, what's their reaction, what they feel about, putting in this immersive environment through a goggle. And I've worked with more than 10 patients now, and none of them, they're all stroke survivors, none of them say that it's uncomfortable. None of them say they have like like a sickness. So that's the first thing I care about, because there is still a lot of misunderstanding about this technology. A lot of people, they just say, oh, I don't want to put this on because it will make me dizzy. But I've tried with all these people and they actually liked it. They feel immediately in that environment. All of them reported that they can interact with the environment, interact with the virtual objects very intuitively. So that's a big thing, and that's a first obstacle we need to cross, that we know they can adapt, they can feel present in that VR world. VR, the technology-wise, VR is advancing so fast, and more young therapists, they are willing to try new technologies. And so in this project, I'm working with clinicians. They come to the lab, they try on the prototype. They help me to understand certain features can be changed for their patient, because they treat patients on a daily basis. And I invite patients to the lab. Through their actual user experience, I can adjust different features. And when I say it's not me. Personally, I work with great software development team here in Virtualware. I communicate with them even though we're in different countries, but we communicate well remotely through video conferencing, through email, to help them understand what I encounter, and they help me to understand through VR technology what kind of solution they can provide. And sometimes the solution they provide is even better than what I thought I could do. So it's a very, very good collaboration. So it has been a great experience for me to learn how to communicate with different professionals, and how to help people who, even though, so for example, the programmers, they may not have the experience working with this population, but through this experience they understand more and more. And then, so for example, the solutions they tell me recently, they already think about what spatial neglect may be like. So the solution they provide is already thinking about spatial neglect. And then even though I didn't ask them to create certain things, they already put that in the new prototype. So I think it's really great collaboration through this project.